We're speaking today with Scott Jackson of the Virginia Arts Festival. This time of year, Scott is the director of the Virginia International Tattoo. Normally, Scott and I are sitting side by side in the press box at Scope, watching everything unfold. But this year, it's a different venue and a different type of tattoo. So, Scott, I'm going to let you tell about the tattoo at ODU's Ballard Stadium.
Thanks. I'm really happy to talk to you about it. I think as we were planning this year's tattoo in the fall, we had to make a couple key strategic decisions because we were devastated that we had to cancel last year's show and shows all over the world were canceled, and we were committed to making this year's show happen in person. So I think the first thing we did is say, let's move this thing outdoors. Outdoors is a great tattoo venue. The longest-running tattoo in the world is in Edinburgh, Scotland, the Edinburgh Military Tattoo, and it's a stunning venue outdoors. Have had the chance to be there and experience that. So our very first choice was ODU's football stadium, the SB Ballard Stadium. We reached out to them. They've been great partners. So we have a terrific venue. It's an excellent size for us. Believe it or not, it's not that much bigger in footprint to Scope. So it's a perfect venue. It will look a lot like you're used to, where we use 3/4 of the stadium for the audience. We set up a staging area, and so basically 3/4 of the area is used, and then the rest will be a backstage area. And I think the other key decision was to move the show later. It's always been in April. It actually corresponds with the azaleas blooming, with its history with the Azalea Festival. But we decided with the rollout of vaccines and some of the good news we were starting to see in February, early March, let's shoot for June. We thought we'd be in better shape, and we're really glad about that decision because it's given a lot more groups a chance to green light their participation. So we're outdoors, great venue. It'll look and feel a little bit more like the granddaddy of tattoos in Edinburgh, and also we're in early June, so we've been able to get a great lineup of groups together.
We'll talk about those in a minute. Let me remind everybody it's going to be Thursday, June the 3rd, 7:30. We have a Friday morning matinee for the students at 10:30, then a Friday evening show at 7:30, a Saturday night 7:30, and then the Sunday matinee to wrap it up at 2:30 Sunday afternoon. And you can get those tickets by calling 282-2822 or vafest.org. Is the box office open these days at your headquarters due to the COVID?
That's a great question. We would prefer you called or use the online, but if you wanted to come, we could set up an appointment.
Okay, well, 282-2822, vafest.org. Scott, tell me about some of the events going on within the tattoo, the groups you've gotten in for this year's very special 2021 tattoo.
Sure. So I'll start with some returning favorites. The home group of the VIT, in my mind, is the United States Navy Fleet Forces Band.
Yeah.
They've been with us since 1997. They'll be back. Very happy to have them with us, and they've put together a fantastic scene inspired by World War II era music. It starts with Glenn Miller's Moonlight Serenade, moves on to Cab Calloway's Jump and Jive. Then we've got Robert Russell Bennett's Victory at Sea, and finishing up with Eternal Father. So a terrific scene they put together. Okay. And then we also have our friends from Fort Eustis, the Tradoc Army Band, another great scene. They're actually marching out to the theme from Patton, which is music I really love.
Yeah.
And then we've got a new band from New Orleans. This is the United States Marine Corps Band from New Orleans. Terrific band. We've had a band from Quantico many years. But they're making their first trip here, and they're a large band, over 50 performers, that Marine precision you love. And, of course, they do a reenactment of the flag raising from Iwo Jima, which really, there's not a dry eye in the house when they do that. And then one more returning favorite is the U.S. Air Force Drill Team, which we've had a couple times. They're from the D.C. area. They'll be making their first trip in over a year, so we're going to be their first event outside of ceremonies in Arlington and so on. So great to have them, and I can tell you the performers are itching to perform. And then a couple exciting new groups. You know, one of the things I always tell people at the tattoo, you should feel very patriotic, and you should feel that great American patriotism, but also there should be something that really takes you by surprise, something you've never seen. So we have a terrific dance group from Kilgore, Texas, called the Kilgore, Texas Rangerettes.
Ah,
And if you could imagine the Rockettes at Radio City Music Hall, but wearing cowboy boots and cowboy hats, that's the Rangerettes. They do a terrific kick line and high energy, really fun group. And then we've got a gym wheel team from Chicago. So this is almost a Cirque du Soleil style, very artistic music interacting with these large steel wheels with gymnastics, seeing 20 wheels spread out throughout the football field. That will be a really, I think, a very beautiful change of pace in between some of the more marching and patriotic music. And of course, the mass pipes and drums.
I was going to say, you got to have the bagpipes. Yeah.
Absolutely. We have pipers from around the U.S., mainly from the East Coast, and led by our own Andrew Carlisle, who is a 12-time world champion. Andy is originally from Northern Ireland, but lives in Pittsburgh. So Andrew Carnegie was, very famous as an industrialist in the U.S. He was a proud Scotsman. So the university that bears his name, Carnegie Mellon, he endowed a bagpiping chair. So it is the only full-time tenure-track bagpiping professorship in the United States.
Awesome.
And Andy fills that role, so he'll be with us as our pipe major and musical leader for the pipes and drums.
And Andy's always fun to have back in. And this year, we may want to look to the skies for something.
Yeah, I'm very happy to say we're partnering with the Military Aviation Museum, and each night we will have a World War II aircraft flying over for the opening of the show. And I think one I'm most excited about is the UK Spitfire. That really is the plane Winston Churchill was talking about when he said, "No, never have so many owed so much to so few." He was specifically talking about the RAF flying those Spitfires, defending the UK in the start of World War II, where for a while they were standing alone. So really neat visual opportunity. And, of course, I'm mentioning these World War II aspects. Our theme this year is a salute to the greatest generation. So those stories and music and ideas from World War II will really be sprinkled throughout the show, so that not only are you seeing these great individual groups, but collectively we tell a story.
Fantastic. Well, it's my 25th year with the tattoo. I am looking forward to being up there in the press box with you. We even have an elevator to take us up there this year instead of climbing the stairs. But
I'm so happy about that. And I'm sorry, I wanted to mention one more group that we've always wanted to have, but it never worked because of school schedules, which is the ODU Monarch Marching Band.
Ah, great.
So
great.
typically in late April, well, right during final exams and reading week, but they'll be joining us, 85 performers strong. First time ever in the VIT, and the first time they've been in a tattoo. So super happy to have our home stadium band with us, and have actually been asking them for a lot of help and advice in performing in the stadium. How does the sound work? What are some ideas about coming on and off? So it's been great not only to have them as performers, but also as some institutional knowledge as we tackle this new venue.
All right. Well, I look forward to being up there with you in the press box as always. I will see you in a couple of days. And in the meantime, thank you, Scott Jackson, for taking a few minutes with us. Reminder to get your tickets at 282-2822, vafest.org. The tattoo coming up this week, Thursday night, 7:30, Friday, student matinee, 10:30, Friday evening at 7:30, Saturday night, 7:30, Sunday matinee at 2:30. The Greatest Generation, Scott Jackson, the crew, all of us together having a grand time. We hope to see everybody out there with us at Ballard Stadium at Old Dominion University. Scott, great job as always, and I'll see you at the tattoo.
Thanks, Ray. I can't wait to see you there.
Take care.